Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, sir.
Would you hand that verdict to the bailiff who will transmit it to the court? Would the defendant please rise? In the case of State of West Virginia versus Natalie Cochran, case number 23-F-343K, the jury verdict is as follows. We, the jury on the issues, joined unanimously find the following. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree. The verdict form is signed by the foreperson of the jury. It is dated 1/29/2025. There are no marks on the portion of the verdict form pertaining to involuntary manslaughter. Does the state wish to examine the jury verdict form?
Thank you.
Does the defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank
You may be seated. Is there a request for the court to poll the jury?
Not from the state. No, Your Honor.
All right. The verdict is received by the court and directed to be recorded. I'll ask the state to prepare an appropriate order in the premises. The court accepts the jury verdict and finds this defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. The defense will be afforded time to file all appropriate motions, and as we discussed earlier, we must have further proceedings concerning the aspect of mercy. I would like to do that right away, and perhaps to commence this afternoon. I can afford the defense or the state 2 hours to prepare, and we can go directly into the mercy phase. All right, I'm advised that the jury has arrived at a verdict. Again, as before, I will expect no outbursts either way upon reading the verdict. Are there matters that we need to discuss before we receive the verdict?
Not from the state, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Bring in the jury, please. Madam Foreperson, has the jury arrived at a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you please hand the verdict form to the bailiff who will transmit it to me? Will the defendant please rise? In the case of State of West Virginia versus Natalie Cochran, case number 23-F-343K, the verdict is as follows. Having found the defendant guilty of murder of the first degree, we, the jury, recommend the following. We, the jury, unanimously do not recommend mercy. The verdict form is signed by Holly Rich, foreperson of the jury. It is dated 1/30/2025. Does the state wish to examine the verdict as to form?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Does the defense?
No, Your Honor.
You may be seated. Is there a request that the court poll the jury?
Not from the state, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Thank you.
The court will receive the recommendation of the jury. It will be recorded and received fully by the court. The court has no discretion in this matter. I'm not sure that it would be useful to have a pre-sentence report or to even come back for sentencing.
Post-trial motions, Your Honor.
We certainly can deal with post-trial motions, but the court, I believe, will go forward with sentencing at this time. I'll ask the defendant to please rise. It is the judgment and ruling of the court that the defendant, Natalie Cochran, be, and she is committed to the penitentiary of this state for her natural life without the possibility of parole. I'll preserve all defense exceptions to the sentence imposed. You may be seated. Members of the jury, I appreciate your service. This is no comment at all on your verdicts, but you have been here. You have done everything that the court has asked you to do. You have been attentive. You have paid attention to all matters presented before you. I can excuse you from this trial, but I cannot release you from service. And so you are now pros in terms of jury service, and you will have to be available until May, the May term. It is very likely that you will be called in for other trials, civil or criminal. And so you know what to expect. You know what the situation involves. Thank you very much. We could not operate without you, and I sincerely appreciate your cooperation and patience. You may now follow the bailiff to your jury room and depart with the court's sincerest appreciation.